My name is Cyrus and I am a Master's of Social Work student at UNC Greensboro. And I'm a person in long-term recovery. What that means for me is that I have not used alcohol or other drugs since January 2014. I guess I initially went to Appalachian State after high school, and I was using a lot of drugs and drinking a lot, and things got pretty bad, and so I ended up going to treatment here in Greensboro. And when I got out of treatment, I moved into a recovery house, and the decision to stay in Greensboro to go to school was a pretty easy one. And it turned out to work out really well because there was a huge recovery base here. And so that was the reason why I started at UNC Greensboro, uh, mainly because of the recovery here in town. And so since I've been here, I'm a social work student. I graduated with my bachelor's in social work, and now I'm a graduate student for social work, and will hopefully have my master's in 10, 11 months or so. Get educated about the resources and the people who are in charge of like programs and stuff like that, so you're better able to refer those students somewhere. I know Um, I know, like when I was at App, I tried to get clean a couple times, and like I'd even gone to the counseling center. I guess they didn't have a recovery program, but like if they did, then it would have been beneficial that they know the details of like, that's a very important thing for like, the counseling program or even like the health center to know about that stuff, or even teachers if possible, because these are the places where someone who's still using, you might see them struggling, and so to be able to refer them to people who can help, especially people who are like them who can help. So that would be like if you can get them connected with the recovery program, there are students who have probably been through some of the same stuff they're going through, and I think that's a really therapeutic way of helping someone. There were some challenges at first, and I would say that a lot of that was because of like I felt a lack of connection when I was going to class. I didn't really have any friends. I didn't know that I was nervous to meet people, especially with the, I guess kind of drug and alcohol culture that sometimes accompanies going to a university. And I do remember like teachers making jokes in class about like drugs and drug addicts, or like when someone would ask after class. I remember specifically one time this guy invited everyone to go get a drink, after class, or just things like that, where one on one someone would ask me to go drink with them or something like that. And and I guess there was kind of like I felt didn't feel connected to the university. And then I guess I met some of the Spartan recovery members before it was a program, and so they're now members. And I met them, and one was actually a social work student too. So that was really beneficial to have someone I could relate to. And then he actually kind of connected me more to the social work department and like the social work student organization. So having that connection got me a lot more involved in my education. Actually, I wasn't like I had a connection in the social work student organization, so like it made it easier for me to go there and meet new people. I wasn't as much of a stranger, and then so that helped a lot. And then I met more people at UNCG who were in recovery also, and so I felt less alone, and I guess more connected. And especially once the recovery program started, it was a little more organized, and they did like a lot more events. So it wasn't, ended up doing fun stuff more often, and so that's been really beneficial, feeling like a part of the university. And so I didn't have any like UNCG gear before the recovery program, and now I have all this Spartan recovery program UNCG stuff, clothing, and so now like I don't know, definitely helps me feel a part of when I'm out and about. People can recognize that I go to UNCG. Um, and that's a big difference from before the program, and a big difference from App State. I think I had like one App State t-shirts from there, and then also just like I definitely felt a part of. Like they had events that were recovery sensitive, I guess. Alcohol and other drug-free events, and so that really made me feel a part of the university, being able to have like a community of people and people in recovery, and also people and allies to people in recovery. Yeah, so I went to this class, basically every class that was 3 days a week. Every class I kind of go in, not really talk to anyone, and leave and not really talk to anyone. And it turned out, and I recognized them when we had I think one of the first Spartan recovery meetings. There's this guy there, and I was like, I recognize him. And then I realized he was sitting in front of me a whole semester, and I had never talked to him. I didn't even know. And that was actually the same class that someone had that was the same class that the guy had invited everyone to go get a drink after class. And like when that definitely, kind of felt a little bit left out there. So I want people to know that students in recovery can be very successful. For recovery in college, it was a real struggle. And then once I got to UNC Greensboro and I got connected with resources through other individuals in recovery, and then once the Spartan Recovery Program got started, my university experience really flourished. And feeling a part of the school meant a lot. And so I remember at App State, of course, I was using drugs and stuff, but I didn't like going to campus. I didn't really like seeing anyone there. Here, I can walk through campus and feel happy, and like when I see people, I'm happy to see them, and like I know people on campus. But yeah, so that's helped me flourish in my education. Just being able to come to school and feel comfortable. Then I don't have all these other stressors, and I can focus on my schoolwork and be passionate about it. And then even be involved socially. So helping students that are already in recovery, I think UNC Greensboro has been doing a great job about that. I've actually been really happy about my experience here in regards to that. I guess continue some of the same, continue throwing events. I enjoyed a lot of some of the smaller events where it was the student recovery program members, and we would have like small gatherings and we had like a Thanksgiving thing or something like that. That was a lot of fun. So I like those small events a lot. And then I also liked, even when we were able to incorporate the Spartan Recovery Program in bigger events, and it was kind of like being involved in activism almost, and getting the UNCG student population aware of what we were doing. Maybe it's not assume that everyone drinks. That's kind of like a real common thing, and you know, and I'm sure people slip up and stuff, and will say, make jokes about, oh, let's all get drinks or something like that. But so not assuming that, and then also like if you do slip up, don't keep insisting, and realize that, hey, maybe someone in here doesn't drink. So maybe someone's in here has some really bad experiences with alcohol, and not drinking is like a very important part of their life. It makes me feel happy that there are allies, or especially people, administrators and professors, hopefully, that will be watching this or going to a recovery zone training, that are taking an interest, because I think that's one of the big problems I face is other people's understanding of what recovery means, and being sensitive to that. Friend from back home, right? And once I got into recovery, I kind of had to slow things down, and I didn't see him as much. And then as I built a foundation in recovery, I was able to, kind of hang out with him more, and he drinks. And so the first few times I asked him when we met up when we played disc golf. I asked him to not bring alcohol around me, and he respected that. And then so this past weekend for Father's Day, him and his dad we were gonna play disc golf with him and his dad and one of our other friends, and he like I guess my friend had told him like that I was in recovery, which I kind of appreciate. I guess that to they're going to be sensitive about the whole alcohol issue. And he comes out the car and he just starts like yelling out loud across the park, "Oh, I guess we have to, be sensitive," in a sarcastic manner, to Cyrus's problem and not drink any alcohol. And he is really sarcastic about it. And so it's like things like that that are kind of common. And I think sometimes people don't even realize they're doing it, but kind of making jokes that are like minimizing recovery, and that like, or they say like, "Oh, I can eventually drink," or something like that, and that's just not how it works for me. And so